real or what? I mean, he's got so many ducks, it could be a fucking pond. But you're gonna fuck your own legacy, and I want to be there. Okay, people, welcome back to another episode of No Fucks Given with Max. How you doing, fella?
Yeah, I'm all good, guys. You?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. And today we've got lots of no fucks to be given, but I want to start with someone who's a bit closer to where we are, or in between where you are, should I say. And a bit of controversy straight out the gate. Conor Benn gives Kell Brook a little bit of a love tap, and the whole world fucking explodes, right?
Oh yeah. Oh mate, it was brilliant. It was. I'll tell you what. I think if Bill weren't now, I think it could have been a bit of a different story. I
don't know. I tell you, want a big shout out to Bill from TW1 Boxing. Who's,
yes.
We've been working with him a little bit of late. He's standing in between Kell Brook and Conor, and then someone grabs hold of his collar and thinking someone's going to get chinned here.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. If Luke's a Kell Brook will be dead.
Well, of course, it's all gone backwards and forwards, hasn't it, since then? I mean, you've got Conor Benn telling Kell Brook, you best stay where you are, you're going to get hurt. Kell Brook telling Conor Benn he's going to put him to sleep. Right?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, if this is heating up very quickly, so I think they need to sort of get it on, double sharp.
Well, obviously, Conor's got to get over, obviously, his issues that he's going there. And it's interesting because Conor's starting to generate a whole world. I mean, he's saying, look, everyone's calling him out now, isn't they? I mean, yeah, he's a big name.
Got, you know, Eubank, Brook, Smith.
Yeah, there's a list of them.
Yeah,
a list of them.
And they're all decent fighters and that. They all want a piece of him.
But I mean, people like Liam Smith and Chris Eubank, I think they're a little bit too beef, a bit too heavy. Do you know what I mean? I mean, obviously, the Eubank-Benn fight, I would love to see that. That is something.
Yeah, I mean, that's a definite, that one.
Yeah, I mean, we guys, just to give you a bit of a background, we actually spoke to Conor a couple of weeks back before we were supposed to go back down there to speak. And they went on airplanes to Berlin, to Dublin, forgetting to tell us. And yeah, so, but other than that, it's great. And I mean, we sat there and had a good chat with Conor for a good couple of hours, didn't we? And about these names, keep calling him out and all the rest of it. And he's definitely 100% interested in all them fights. And
yes,
and for all of you who think that this was staged, I'm telling you it isn't. Right? That was no way was that staged.
No way was staged. No, I think there's genuine hate for each other there. You know what I mean?
And we know that because the minute it happened, Max is on the blower to Bill, the guy you see standing between them, going, "Is that real or what?" And Top Bill comes in again. Yeah, that's real. That's real. It's kicked up with controversy. I mean, I'd love to see. I tell you what, I think Conor would be too devastating for him. I think Kell Brook. Nah, I think it would be. I think Kell will be making a huge mistake, and I'll back our man 100%. That's the way I see it. I think it would just be crazy. And plus, I don't think Kell Brook could make Conor's weight. If I'm perfectly honest, I think he's a bit too big. If you know what I mean. Yeah, and it'd be interesting to see if we can find some sparring of these two.
Yes, I was just about to mention that weight don't come into nothing. The way I was seeing it, Conor was having him up in that ring. You know what I mean? He was battering him. They weren't holding back. It weren't our sparring match. It was like a full-on brawl. You know what I mean?
Oh God! I mean, I'll tell you what. I just think at the end of the day, it's a fight. I'd like to see the fight. In a way, but I think Conor's got far too much for him. I think when we were talking with Conor, I think he was I think he's up for that. He's up for them all, really. I mean, the way he's
I tell you what, for someone who's quite small, he's game. You know what I mean? He's game and he can throw some bombs.
Yes, yeah, he can, and he's like an absolute animal training, isn't he? Yes. So. When we spoke to his dad as well, he wishes he was half as good as Conor is. And I was saying, look, Nigel, you're a different era to what that is. So, anyway, so let's.
It's his blood, isn't it, too?
Oh yeah, it is. I mean, that's why they're just calling him out as well. I mean, anyway, so let's move on. Conor, hopefully we'll catch you very soon, buddy. Let's move on to some of the other news. Right, here it is, straight out there. Lomachenko robbed. absolutely robbed.
Yes.
I mean, the Great Train Robbery got nothing on that, is it?
Yes, and it was disgustingly. It was robbed. Powerful he was. So I hope that his management kick up massive shitstorm over this.
And it goes back to what we've said numerous amounts of times, isn't it? You know, it's you know, we've said you've got to have some sort of VAR because you can't leave it to the judges. It's a load of bollocks. Absolutely bollocks.
You need, it's like you can't leave, like you're saying, you can't leave it to the three judges. You have VAR and have a fourth official who overlooks everything.
Yeah, I mean,
You know,
the other thing as well,
biased.
obviously, Bob Arum is going mad. He's saying, hang on a minute, there's no way that Devin Haney won that fight. I would happen to agree with him. I mean, I'd love to have Haney on the show. I'd argue with him till the cows come home. I can't see how he won that. And I think, Max, what we're going to do from next week, I think we're going to look at the major fights of the night and we're going to do a highlight reel. And we're actually going to do some proper analytics of these fights. And me and you are going to argue and score it round for round. So, guys, there's going to be some new shows coming out. We've got some new channels to announce. And we're going to be putting loads and loads of stuff on there. The complete fight highlights and proper investigations and debate, right, on who wins the round.
So debates. We're two different sides of the fight scene. We are.
Yeah, I'll do it properly. He plays at it. Right? No. So total bollocks. That was just total bollocks. Absolute bollocks in my opinion.
It was shocking. What winner of a match bolts out the ring first ring? You know what I mean? You know, if you won that,
Shaka Stevenson came in. Shaka Stevenson was going in there to go and say, look, okay, we'll get it on and we'll get it on. And he's off. He's off. Haney's gone.
Yeah. Yeah, because he knows the decision wasn't correct, it wasn't right, and he bolted before he put it on him. Yeah,
and Lomachenko's manager says, I guarantee we're not going to accept that decision. Being robbed is not acceptable. Absolutely. Something has got to change with all these governing bodies. There needs to be some sort of thing about how it's going on. You know, the CompuBox stats, it was all in Lomachenko's favour. All in Lomachenko's favour.
Yeah.
And you can tell Haney got hurt. He got hurt definitely. In that fight. He was holding on and holding on. You could hear Lomachenko's calling, shouting, he's holding. You know, there's two signs, guys and girls, that a fighter's hurt. The first one is complaining. Yeah, if they complain, that's the first one. That's normally a good sign. And the second one is they're holding.
Yeah, as we saw, I want to do a ballroom dance or something.
As we saw with the Cully fight that was actually here actually over in Ireland, wasn't it? Where, where he got stopped. But it's part of the tactics of boxing, isn't it? It really is.
Hold on to him, wear him out, gain yourself a few more seconds to a bit of breathing space.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I'm just like, fucking hell. It is what it is. I mean, I know there was yeah, it's just shocking. I'm sorry, I can't go into it.
There's no words to describe how shocking the decision making was last night. You know, I think that's probably the biggest daylight robbery we've seen.
Yeah, pretty much. And I'll tell you what, let's move on. Jake Paul, talk to me. Talk to me.
Jake Paul, where can we start with him? Right. He knows how to make money. He knows how to rob people out the wrong way, and he picks his fights selectively because he knows there's big paydays, right? And his last real boxer was Tommy Fury, which I still think he won.
No, Fury won.
No,
not having it. I'm not having it. I'll tell you what. We'll break down that fight and all. We'll argue till the cows come home, right? And we'll do that. Go on, as you were going.
Yeah. So now his next opponent, Nate Diaz. Right? People were saying, "Oh, he ain't a professional fighter," blah blah blah. But he took out Conor McGregor in 7 minutes, smashed him. Right? And then everyone's going, "Conor McGregor's this, Conor McGregor's that." Right? But I feel Jake's going to actually do Nate. I think he's going to overpower him.
I think he'll beat Nate Diaz. I really do.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to say this about Jake Paul. I actually am growing on. He's growing on me as a fighter. He's proven to me that he's got the minerals, he's got what it takes to make it as a fight. He's got the
I'll tell
money
you what,
so he can train and he can afford the best trainers in the world.
Listen, these work ethics, like when he's training and he's boxing and that, he gives 110% every time. You watch him, he's on it. And,
I mean, Carl Froch said about Jake Paul, he couldn't punch the skin off a rice pudding.
Yeah, well, I think if Froch got in the ring now with Jake Paul, I think Jake Paul will punch him up.
I don't know. You got an older man, a younger man.
He's a lot older. He's not going to be as fast, not going to be as powerful.
I don't know. The Cobra could come out of retirement. It's amazing what a few million quid will do, isn't it? Eh?
Yeah. Listen, like I said before, I'd have my head punched in for a few mil.
Yeah.
No
so Jake Paul, if you're watching, Max wants his head punched in for a few mil.
Yeah, well, I'll punch your head in for a few mil. It goes both ways.
Well, that's it. That's it. I mean, it's certainly interesting. Anyway, last topic, right? I want to talk about Duckman. As he's become to be known.
Mr. Fury himself.
Mr. Tyson Fury. There's this awful lot going on. Now, I had a lot of time for Tyson. I really did.
Yeah.
But what's really annoying me is it's excuse after excuse after excuse. And now a lot of people, not just me, but a lot of people are getting fed up of hearing it. And he's in danger of damaging his legacy for people going, fuck it, I'm not interested. He's in danger.
You look on all social media, all the comments, and all basically 99% of them are fed up with his bullshit and his accusations of everyone ducking him. No one wants to fight him, and he's ready to come out and fight everyone now. He's even giving it large to Joe Rogan, John Jones, Francis Ngannou.
Yeah, but he was saying, I'm not a cage fighter. The trouble is, there's so many two sides that Tyson's on. So he says, I'm not a cage fighter, I won't get in a ring with you. But then he was trying to sort a cage fight out.
Yeah, but he also said, you put me in the same room as him, I'd punch his lights out. I don't care how big you are, Tyson, but you go in the same room where there's no cage or ring, John Jones is smashing you to bits.
I think so. It's a totally different discipline, right? Totally different discipline. Inside of a squared circle, Tyson Fury wins 99 times out of 100.
He said in a room. He didn't say a cage or a ring. He said, if you put me in the same room as him, I'll smash him. But he wouldn't.
Yeah.
John Jones is an incredible athlete.
I give it to Tyson. If you're talking about a freelance but a street fight, that ain't never going to happen. But I wouldn't see anything other than John Jones win. Because listen, in a street fight as well, I tell people, we've had our times on the cobbles, haven't we?
Yeah.
But I tell people, it ain't no ring, it ain't no boxing, it ain't no street fighting, and you certainly ain't going to be doing no Brazilian jiu-jitsu lying on the floor. Right? You ain't going to be doing any of that. But I think that, in Tyson's world, John Jones doesn't last 4 rounds. But in John Jones's world, Tyson wouldn't last. I wouldn't give him more than 60 seconds.
He wouldn't last 1 round in the cage, and vice versa in the boxing ring. John Jones wouldn't last 1 or 2 rounds.
No, I think he would, because I think Tyson would have respect for his power. But I think the thing is, Tyson, it's very difficult, and I say this with the utmost sincerity to Tyson Fury. If you ever watch one of these videos, which I really highly doubt, we're nothing in your world, but listen, the way I see it, you are the best heavyweight that there is on the planet today. That there is. But it isn't just a case of telling everybody. I don't believe it because... Well, not just that. I don't believe it because he tells me it. Because a lion don't have to tell the world it's a lion. I know that he is, right? But what I'm saying about it is a lion always has to prove himself head of the pride. Or he has the pride taken over for him. And this is where Tyson is right now. Keep saying, it's looking like he's ducking this person. It's looking like he's ducking that person. I mean, he's got so many ducks, it could be a fucking pond. I mean, this is what it looks like from the outside. I now want Joshua. I now want Wilder. I now want Usyk. Hang on a minute, Usyk.
The thing he's saying, but I don't want your rematch. I don't do rematches.
Well, he had 3 fights with Wilder.
One after the other with Wilder.
Yeah, I mean, not just that, right? When you look at the whole scenario, Usyk's got 5 days before he's got to go into a purse bids for the WBA title, right? There's no ifs, no buts, no old Tyson. No, because you've got to get the sanctioning body now to agree to suspend that if they have a unification bout. And this shit's been going on for ages. Now he's calling out AJ. Now he's calling out Wilder. Now he's calling out Usyk. I mean, who's next?
Yeah, well, when he's shouting at Dillian White.
No, he just banged him out, hasn't he? He's just had that fight with him. So
yeah, we call him out again because this is an easy fight. Just to say, well, I fought again and I beat him.
Well, yeah, but you know, it's just no point. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to see that fight. I don't.
Listen, there's two fights I like to see Tyson take: Usyk and Joshua.
Yeah. But being honest, I think he's only got 2 fights left. Usyk and Joshua.
And they should be Usyk or Joshua. Yeah, take both of them.
And Tyson, I think you win. That's all it is. I think you win. I think Usyk's too small. I think Tyson's reach is too long. I think Tyson's movements is too good. You know, I think as far as a boxing match, I don't see that as a massively interesting fight. I see it as an interesting fight from a fan point of view, but I don't see it an eventful type of fight from a fights perspective, because they say styles make fights and they're very, very similar. The fact is, I think Tyson moves better than Usyk. However, I would sit there and say Usyk is going to be the better technician in a way, because he's got lots of amateur pedigree. But I still see Tyson winning. I don't see anything, but I think Tyson knocks him out as well. I think in the latter rounds I see a detonating man.
I think it's going to be a difficult fight. I think it'll go to the end and it'll be done on a decision. But if Fury, this is only my opinion by the way, don't jump down my throat.
Yeah, jump down Max's throat. Max at fighterstalktv.com, yeah?
Yeah, but if Fury takes on Joshua, I think Fury knocks him out inside 5 rounds, 4 rounds even. Yeah.
I don't know if Fury knocks Joshua out because he's a little bit bigger, but and he's not as clumsy as Wilder.
No, but I think Fury knocks him out within 5 rounds.
This is where we're going to fight and argue, right? I'm telling you. Fury doesn't knock Joshua out. Fury beats Joshua on points. Fury beats Joshua. I think Fury knocks out Usyk. That's what I think. But I also think Joshua KOs Wilder.
Yeah,
right?
No. I'm going to agree with Fox here. He said if Wilder's doing him in 1 round, but
bollocks.
No, I don't agree with that bit, but I do believe Wilder will spark him out within 4 rounds.
Right, if Joshua turns up the Joshua that fought Pulev, Joshua turns up the Joshua that fought Klitschko, right? There's no way Wilder is going to sustain that. Right, let me tell you what. Wilder even will say to himself, you've got to be perfect, right, for 12 rounds. I've got to be perfect for 15 seconds. Yeah. Right? Now, I think if you're Joshua, I would be training Joshua. If I'm training Joshua, I'm training him for 9 minutes, right, of explosive, raging power. And then I know that if Joshua doesn't knock him out in 3 or 4 rounds, it could be a hard night. And the reason I say that is I think Tyson Fury has stolen Deontay Wilder's heart. I think he's taken his soul. But I think Tyson, if you ever listen to this, I'm going to say it again, sick of the ducking, sick of the bullshit, sick of what comes out of the top funnel here. But love the man. I think there's no heavyweight fighter on the planet that is going to beat him. I think he's got Usyk, Joshua, done. I honestly believe that. And he retires undisputed heavyweight champion. And you know what? The only reason I say those are the 2 fights left for him, let me tell you why. I would hate for him and hate for anyone to question him as to say, but who was the best? And he'll go, me, but you didn't fight the best.
Yeah.
That's the 2 you've got left, right? You can have 1 fight in August, 1 fight in January, and you can be done. And you can make more from those 2 fights than your whole purse for the rest of your career. The money will be there. And I honestly believe if he knocks out Usyk, I wonder if that's his plan, knocking Usyk out then going straight to Joshua. I don't know why he doesn't want the rematch. But there must be something to it. The way I sit there and look at it, there's 2 fights for him left, and that is Usyk and Joshua. Yeah. And the only reason I say that is I think Tyson Fury is and I'm going to put my neck on the line here. I am
on the chopping block.
I'm going to put my head on the chopping block. I think Tyson Fury, if he does that, if you had a third fight in with a rematch with Usyk, I still think he knocks Usyk out twice. Right?
No way.
I do. I'll tell you, I do. I think with Sugar Hill in his corner and he's become a devastating fighter. I'll tell you what, in my mind, he is the greatest heavyweight that's ever lived. And I'll tell you, I know we're going to go back to Joe Frazier and jump back even further to all the others of yesteryears, and everyone's going to go, oh, Muhammad Ali, Muhammad Ali. Let me tell you something about this Muhammad Ali stuff. Love the guy. Fought absolutely great. You can see Muhammad Ali just there. You know, he's fighting Leon Spinks there. All my signed pictures and stuff. But I'm telling you something. That man there, right? That man there is not 6'9". Right, that man is not 6'9". That man didn't go through all the mental health problems that Tyson went through. He didn't balloon up 28 stone, lose 10 stone, come back and win a world title again. You know, in my mind, and I don't know if it's because I'm a Brit or whatnot, but if Tyson does those 3 fights, if he has to do Usyk twice, Joshua once, I see him winning them all. I don't see him knocking out Joshua just purely because I see Joshua doing his in with size. I don't see Joshua beating Fury at all. I think Fury wins 3 fights, and I think then you can stake a claim to the most decorated, undisputed world champion of all time. Remember, he's already done it once, so he's won. He was a unified world champion when he beat Klitschko. But one of the biggest things that pisses me off about Fury is this. You know, don't say it, do it. Listen, what you do is you upset everything. I think. You know, I've got mixed emotions about him, and if he ever saw me, he'd probably smack my teeth down the back of my throat. But at the end of the day, I'm going to tell it as it is, and the way it is for me.
I'm feeling like I'm with like everyone else. They're fed up with him ducking, calling everyone dossers. No one wants to fight him. You know, it's bullshit. Loads of people want to fight him. He's the ducker, and he's acting like a dosser. You know what I mean? So he needs to put his fist where his mouth is, get in the ring, and give us the action we want.
As fans as well, of course. I mean, but I would say this to him. Tyson, at the end of the day, I don't see any man alive beating you. I really don't. But you're going to fuck your own legacy. And I want to be there at 80 years old, should I live that long, telling my grandchildren, saying, listen, you missed the era of something great in this ring. You know, the era that had never been seen before, where a man can come from being only a pound in weight, a pound in weight in his holding his hand, to becoming world champion, to unified world champion, to be one of only 2 men to win the Ring magazine belt twice. I mean, I just sit there and I think to myself, listen, Tyson, you can't buy integrity, right? You earn it. It doesn't matter how much money you got in this world. You know, you can't buy integrity and you can't buy respect. You might have 101 arse lickers around you, right? But real people, and I tell this to Max all the time. So Max is obviously joining me here and we're doing loads of things. He will never learn anything from me by me telling him he's great. He will only learn things from me by me pointing out where he's going wrong. And the same thing I'd say to you, Tyson. I've never been in your world, never been in your shoes, but I'm telling you, this is me talking to you if you ever was to see this, or you can Shane or your brothers, all of them. Listen, it isn't how many people you beat, it's who you beat. You know, you can fight Dillian White another 4 times, you can fight Deontay Wilder another 4 times, you can fight Derek Chisora another 4 times. Those last 2 names will cement you in my eyes and many other people's eyes. I guarantee it.
History.
Better than Lennox Lewis, who wasn't able to achieve what you would have achieved. It would make you better than Mike Tyson, and in my opinion, make you better than Muhammad Ali. Because I honestly do tell you this: if there was you in your prime versus Muhammad Ali will lose 9 times out of 10. Because he will not be able to cope with the speed and the power and the size. He really wouldn't. And I think if we're all talking honestly, we're talking obviously 2 different eras. Really, really are. Anyway, I mean, that's all I'm going to say about the Tyson Fury thing. I say to the others, if I've upset you because I'm telling you the truth, then I'm afraid I've upset you. If you never talk to me, I'm nothing in your world. I don't care. Just apologise, ladies and gents. Max is talking to his wife. Forgets he's on but But yeah, so that's the way I see it. I don't know what you think.
Yeah, well, I actually do agree with you. I don't want to agree with you, but I am.
Yeah, I think the man has got a legacy. I think at the end of the day, to us it's about legacy. To him, it's obviously about financial security, and he should have that by now.
Yeah, listen, he doesn't need any money. He's earned plenty of money, but he needs to fight USYK and Joshua. That'd be his last final fights.
There's nobody else for him. No Juggernauts, no Dubois, no Zhangs, no Ruiz, no Ortiz, nothing. There is nobody else for him.
USYK and Joshua, no rematches, just straight one-off fights. Winner takes all, and then he's got to retire.
I don't know about the rematches. I mean, obviously Usyk's got 4 out of 3 or 4 belts, hasn't he? But what I'm just sort of thinking to myself is that if I'm Tyson Fury, I mean, those are the 2 fights for me, and that will, and honestly, Tyson, I would say to you, and I'd say to your dad, and I'd say to anybody if they even want to rip my head off, I believe you are the best heavyweight on the planet, and I believe those 2 fights will cement you as the best heavyweight that could be arguably that actually has ever lived. There'll be others that go, oh, what about this person who have fought 150 people and never lost? I go, yeah, but listen, if I put 150 cab drivers in front of Tyson Fury, he'd knock them all out. So what difference does it make? It's different. Anyway, guys, thanks very much for joining us on another episode of No Fucks Given. And don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button because we are YouTube whores and do like a few quid. So if you would do that, that'd be great. And also share this shit between your friends. Take care, guys, and we'll catch you again on the next episode. Take care.
See you later.